You're listening to Civic Media. You can tune into any of our live shows on any radio station across the state with the Civic Media app. Find us in your phone's app store and listen anytime, anywhere.
From Washington to Hollywood and right back to Wisconsin. It's Nightlight with Pete Schwaba and Greg Bach. Connecting the dots on the stories shaping our world with smart takes, sharp humor, and plenty of personality.
You know, I really expected more professional behavior from you.
It's news and culture without the noise.
Yeah, I'm on.
Here's Pete Schwaba and Greg Bach.
Dude.
Welcome to Nightlight, ladies and gentlemen. It's finally Monday, and we are back on the air, and all is good. You have no idea how I wait all weekend just to get back in front of the microphone and start yakking. Welcome to Nightlight with Pete Schwaba and Greg Bach. I am Pete Schwaba, coming to you live from Northeast Wisconsin. And just down the coast is my partner in crime, Mr. Greg Bach, coming to us live from Radio Park in Racine, and Dom Lee holding down the fort in Madison, working the board. Hey, guys, how are you?
Doing well. How about you, Pete?
I am doing swell. It's a great, it's a gloomy, fun day Monday. And I really am. I'm happy to be back with you guys. It was a long weekend, and, I'm not glad it's over, but I'm kind of glad it's over. Greg, you had a big weekend, though. You took Friday night off.
Yeah.
For some all-out fun with the wife. How was the concert?
It was awesome. Was in Madison on Friday. I went to go see Steven Wilson Jr. If you don't know who he is, check him out. Okay. He is a singer-songwriter. He has written for a lot of country artists. He is an artist in himself. I would say he's sometimes he's country, sometimes he's folk, sometimes he's Americana, sometimes he's straight out rock. He is fantastic. We went to go see him at the Sylvie in Madison, and I forgot what a standing room only concert feels like for 3.5 hours.
Wow. Whoa.
Tiring. Wow.
With just him or opening act? Or?
No. There was an opening act. We got there at 8 p.m. and the show went until about 11:40, and he played for 2.5 hours. It was fantastic. At one point, if you go to my Instagram page, I am Greg Bach. So during in the latter half of the set, probably 2-3 songs before their set was done, and then they did the good night everybody, and then 3 minutes later we're back for an encore. But they played a song where they jammed off for 25 minutes, and he just ran through the entire venue playing guitar and just being amazing and fun. It was so cool. And so no, it was a great time. It was my wife and I went. We went with some of our friends, some high school friends of mine. And just an absolute blast. And I will say, I did manage to make it. My body did hold up under nearly 4 hours of standing up. But it was a good show, and the venue was beautiful. And if you haven't listened to Steven Wilson Jr.'s music, I would do it. It's fantastic.
Did you guys stay overnight?
Yes. Yep.
Where did you stay?
We got it's funny because we got a hotel room at the Hampton Inn in East Madison, and what I didn't realize, I don't know I know Madison, but what I don't know, if you say West Madison or East Madison, because what it felt like where our hotel was a northern part of Madison, but it just was far away from downtown. Okay. But it was a nice hotel, and the next morning. Someone said, "You guys want to get breakfast?" I'm like, "Yeah, we can go downstairs and grab some breakfast. They got a breakfast bar." And they go, "Well, we can get some real food." I'm like, "Excuse me?" There's eggs and bacon and sausage and cereal and muffins and bagels and milk and toast and all and
it's free.
And it's part of the room. We got this as part of the deal. And you want to go spend another $20 to $95 on food? So I got voted down, but we had a good breakfast brunch. But overall, it was just great. We had a really, really good time, and it was one of those things where those feelings you both this where you just say, I got to do something. I got to get out of here. I got to take a day or two to myself. That's what I did, and it was great, and I loved it.
That's awesome. Yeah. I love when there's my wife and I always go back and forth on that. She's like, well, this place is nice, but this place has free breakfast, and usually free breakfast wins out. But inevitably, we leave the free breakfast, and she says that was terrible.
Well,
the problem just doesn't learn. I'm like, of course it was, but there are some good ones,
I tamper my expectations are at a certain level for hotel breakfast. I don't know how you guys feel about this, but like I'm never expecting 5-star,
Right.
like the toast of the town breakfast here. I'm expecting exactly what I'm getting: a pile of eggs inside of a hot pan,
Right.
and whatever accoutrement they have. And it's like that's what. But my wife also doesn't like eggs. She hates eggs. They make her not feel well. So she doesn't really want to sit in a room where it smells like eggs. So I get what she's saying, but I was sort of just like, but there's food right there.
That's the cornerstone of the hotel breakfast, though, or like scrambled eggs. Hopefully they're just not runny.
I don't mind that.
Oh dear. Dom, good weekend. Did you add another big arch to your list, buddy?
I did not, but I did go to the Mifflin Street thing. There's there's a whole Mifflin party in downtown Madison. I didn't actually participate, but I went there and I just wanted to see what it was. It's my first year in Madison.
Observe?
We just went to observe. Yep.
I like to watch other people have fun.
Yeah, it was really fun to watch other people have fun.
So this is what they call partying hardy. I love it.
I didn't have any Wisconsin stuff, so I kind of just went there.
That's the place to do it. Though.
Yeah, it was fun. It was really fun, though.
That's awesome.
It was a good weekend.
What about you, Pete?
Well, I had a good. You know what? I had a pretty chill weekend. That extra day off is nice. Because we were off Friday, thanks to you, and so I got a lot of steps in. We went out to eat with my folks, and we watched a movie on Netflix called Apex with Charlize Theron.
How was that?
It was fun. It wasn't. It was a great Netflix movie.
Yes, it's like hotel breakfast.
It's the hotel breakfast of watching a movie at home.
Yes,
absolutely. But I would recommend it. I thought it was fun, and I enjoyed it. So it was a very good weekend. We just kind of chilled out and had a long weekend where we didn't have to go anywhere. So it was all good stuff. But it is good to be back here in the chair. Talking to you guys. We've got a great show for you tonight, folks. Chad Krueger will be here. He is the manager of PR at Diggers Hotline.
Nice.
Now, you guys might not know what Diggers Hotline is. I just found out a few years ago when I bought a house, but it's a big deal, and we're going to talk about it, and Chad's going to tell us stuff we should need to know, whether we're homeowners or people that wander onto other people's lawns with a shovel. There are things you'll need to know.
Guilty.
And then we've got our pal Mike Clemens will be here in hour number 2, breaking down the Packers draft class. And we'll talk a little Brewers with Mike. It's always fun with Mike. We know that. So here's a not a public service announcement. That might be a stretch, but not like Diggers Hotline. But we have our Nightlight Movie Club, folks, Thursday nights in the second hour from 6 to 7. This week's movie is Goodfellas. We're going gangster. We're going OG gangsters. Goodfellas, Ray Liotta, Joe Pesci, Paul Sorvino, and I can't think of the not Lauren Bacall. Who plays Ray?
Braca. No, that's not.
Karen,
that's not.
Elaine.
Oh, wow.
Janice, Gloria.
No, you keep talking. I'm gonna look. Stop it.
Lorraine Bracco.
There it is.
Lorraine Bracco.
See, I was right. I got the last name right. The rest of it was just.
I know. I just totally spaced.
And this will be a nightclub. This will be a movie club where we cannot legally play any clips.
Come on.
Well, it's just a lot of swearing. It's a lot of swearing.
Oh, that's true. I thought you meant okay.
Oh no.
It's going to be a fun, there's so many quotable lines, great scenes, great characters, and you guys will be able to weigh in on all of this. So check out Goodfellas and be part of the Nightlight Movie Club. That's Thursday night. It's going to be a lot of fun, as it is every week. But right now, guys, I think we should get to our question of the night.
I think you're right.
Oh, here we go. What monster from the movies scares you the most? What monster from the movies scares you the most? Let us know, folks. Be part of the show. 855-752-4842, 855-75-CIVIC. You can also text us on the app, the Civic Media app. It is free to download, very easy to use, and we would love for you to text us over said app. Also, if you're watching the radio on YouTube, Facebook, or the app Greg still calls Twitter, I do as well.
Right.
Join us there too. Drop a stream comment and let us know what your favorite monster or scariest monster is from the movies. There's so many to choose from. Mine are kind of obvious. I'm excited to share those with you guys at some point tonight.
Okay.
So.
All right.
We'll do all that, but should we get to some news stories? What do you say? Should
Let's
we kick
get
it
to
off,
some news.
Let's do it.
So if you haven't heard already, but you probably already heard, there was a shooter arrested in what looks to be the third assassination attempt at President Trump's life this Saturday at the Correspondents' Dinner that took place in Washington, D.C. The building was shut down. The man was arrested. He was taken into custody. He had a very lengthy manifesto to go along with his actions. And, this is a very interesting topic to talk about yet again. But the thing that I kind of want to focus on, and I don't know what you guys think about this, is the fact that the reaction to the folks inside the room, as well as to those outside on social media, I don't remember when an attempt was made on President Reagan's life. I was way too little, but I have to assume that the country went insane for quite a few days. It was probably this
Huge
just feels
news.
like it's. I mean, and it is huge news, and it is and everyone is okay, but the security aspect of it all and the reaction from people just seemed to be almost. I don't want to almost humdrum, instead of saying we need to find out what's going on, we need to beef up the security, we need to make sure that this doesn't happen. We just kind of move on rather quickly. And a New York Times article that was posted about this attempt talks about the fact that there were no metal detectors on site at this event. I can't go to the airport without going through a metal detector. I had the fortune to visit the U.S. Capitol. The layers of security just to walk into the building, you would think somewhere where the president, the vice president, and all these luminaries of politics would be incredibly hard to get in there, but there wasn't. And saw pictures of Kash Patel sitting in his chair watching it happen. It's just mind blowing to me now that the reaction is, I don't know what to say, because of course I didn't want anything to happen, and I'm not going to take the side of folks who are saying, I'm not going to say anything about that here, because that's not for what we're talking about. But for me, it's just the matter of security or lack thereof, plus the fact that it just seems to be it happens and then people go on social media and have their reactions there.
Right.
Calling out liberals, calling out this, doing that, when in fact we should be looking at the danger that in a year's time or 2 years' time, there have been 3 attempts. Why aren't we doing better at this then?
Yeah, that's a great question. And you can argue, I know a lot of people have come out and said they thought the last one where he yelled "fight, fight" was staged. Mm-hmm. And this one is just so bizarre, Greg. I kind of agree with you. The next day I went over to my parents' house and we were talking about baseball for half an hour. And then it's oh yeah, and there was another attempt made on Trump's life. It's in this America, it's just become part of the drill. It's so chaotic in the news stories and the cycle. Yeah. What I thought was interesting, though, is I saw that right after this happened, PBS reported that they're calling it President Trump's Justice Department, not the Justice Department, which is maddening, is using the shooting at the White House Correspondents' Dinner on Saturday to try to pressure preservationists to drop their lawsuit over his planned $400 million ballroom on the side of the former East Wing of the White House. What? And then somebody on social media said, how about we do that for all the kids that have suffered in schools? I mean, it's crazy that it's just become humdrum. But anyway, we've got 2 other great stories not that this was a great story, but 2 more stories for you coming up after a very short break. You've got Nightlight with Pete Schwaba and Greg Bach on the Civic Media Network.
You're listening to Civic Media. Stay up to date on the latest news and information for your local community and Wisconsin by signing up for our free email newsletter. Visit civicmedia.us/email to get started.
Welcome back. This is Nightlight with Pete Schwaba and Greg Bach. You've got the Civic Media Network, folks. Happy Monday. Glad you're with us. Our question of the night is, who is your favorite or scariest movie monster?
Yeah.
We got really good responses for this one on social media. So I'm hoping people join in and tell us over the text line, the app, or the stream. Let us know your favorite or scariest movie monsters. So many to choose from. And I don't even like scary movies, but this was kind of a fun one to think about.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah. We were in the middle of our big 3 stories. We do that every day here at Nightlight with Pete Schwaba and Greg Bach. So let's get back to the news, Dom. Greg, you should lead this one off too, because this is your hood, buddy.
My hood?
Well, sort of your hometown, right?
Well, I mean, there's a story that came out of the Milwaukee Journal Sentinel by Francesca Pica, who back on the morning show I interviewed and talked to her about the home prices. The median home prices are going up, like up. What's funny is that so here's the funny thing is, in Milwaukee, the median home price is $235,000. I was surprised by that number, but then I saw the homes that were costing that much, like this one in the story, $235,000 for an 1,100 square foot home. 3 bathrooms, 3 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms in an 1,100 square foot. That is
There's no living room.
Where's the living room? It's the bathroom.
It's that huge bathroom.
Yeah. But what really surprised me though, like Waukesha median price $355. I mean, well, now listen, when I say that it's not surprising, I am surprised. That's a lot of money for a great deal of people. But in this day and age where the median around the country is about $400,000, the fact that it's not higher in Waukesha was a little shocking. But here was the one that really, really surprised me. In Menominee Falls, the median price is $505,000.
That is
for a home,
crazy.
not a mansion, not a castle. The one they were showing here, it was, what did they say? It was 2,700 square feet. That's a big home. I would say bordering a little too big, but 3 bedroom, 2 bathroom, 1.1 acre, 2 car garage. By the way, I'm not selling these homes, everybody. I'm just surprised that I would have switched that. Like in Wauwatosa, it's $435, and I would have thought Menominee Falls, okay, between like $275 and $3 or $350 or whatever, but $500,000 median price for a home in Menominee Falls is mind-boggling to me.
I want to say this too, like when you think about Milwaukee and the median home price, $235, compare that to Chicago, $350 to $410.
Geez.
Compare that to Minneapolis, $310 to $355. Milwaukee is a great bargain. I mean, here, and I'll say this too, just within the state, like Madison is ridiculously crazy expensive.
Yeah, it's almost offensively expensive there.
Yeah, and Northeast Wisconsin isn't much better. So I still think bang for your buck, plop down that $235,000 and grab a house in Milwaukee.
Folks, you grab that bag of cash you got there, rob a bank, or just go onto someome's property.
Go into the petty cash.
Yeah, but like the thing for me, I'll say this is when my wife and I were considering a home purchase, we tossed and turned over this stuff. Like, where do we want to move? Where can we afford? And we realized we just can't afford to live for what we want space-wise and comfort-wise. We could not afford to live in Milwaukee. And while, yes, it's a bit of a drive, it's about 45 minutes, give or take. Kenosha is a great place. And that's what I would tell a lot of people too. If you want to live in a city, I understand. And I live in a city. I just don't live in the big city of Wisconsin. But I love Kenosha. It's a good neighborhood, good people, lots to do still, right? I'm just as close to the lake as I ever was.
Yeah.
And, and I'm not going to give anybody advice on buying a home. I know that's a stressful situation, especially with the home prices. But I would say look outside to the suburbs, look outside like due south or whatnot and go from there. But yeah, this is absolutely, it's $500,000 from Menominee Falls.
I like cities as opposed to suburbs. I just like hitting the pavement and walking and coffee shops and places I can walk to. But I've said this before, Greg, I don't know much about Kenosha or Racine for that matter, but I do know that they are part of that metro area between Milwaukee and Chicago. You have so many choices.
Yep.
You could take a train to Chicago. I love that option. And
I have 2 trains I could take to Chicago.
Yeah, the Metro and the
Amtrak,
right?
Yep.
Yeah. So I really still think with all the people coming to the Midwest with climate change, you're sitting pretty, buddy. And I know you're probably hosting a few open houses this weekend with side real estate gig. But let's get to our last third and final story.
I love this one because it made you happy.
This makes me so this makes me happy, and it makes us go, what's the word we want to say?
What's that word? Dom?
Beautiful?
No, the sound cue. The sound cue.
What's the sound cue? Am I?
Whoa.
Mike. Okay. Yep. Okay.
There it is.
I don't know if that was worth the buildup, but I saw this great statistic. I didn't know this, and I love space, and I love the Eagle Nebula photos and learning about the Milky Way and all that kind of stuff. It fascinates me. But last week, and you guys already knew this, I heard for the first time ever that there are more stars in the universe than there are grains of sand on the Earth. This is just worth sharing. That is mind-boggling.
Makes you feel small and amazing. Like it just, I like where others will be like, well, I'm like, that makes me, I don't know. There's something about those space facts that make me so happy. And that's one of them.
It's absolutely one of them. And it's good to know, like, and I love anything we do to research space and find out stuff like this is just fantastic. And at first I heard it, I'm like, there's no way that's possible. On the beach out here, 200 feet from my door, I'm like, there's not even that many planets. Well, it's a public beach, but yeah, incredible. All right, so there's your 3 stories, folks. But let us know what your favorite or who your favorite or scariest movie monster is. That's our question of the night. When we come back, we're talking Diggers Hotline. You cannot miss this, folks. It's Nightlight with Pete Schwaba and Greg Bach on the Civic Media Network. Welcome back. It is great to have you here on this Monday with us here on this it's our fun show. It's the fun edition of Nightlight. Mondays are a blast. It's great to have you. Our question of the night is, what is your favorite or scariest movie monster? We will be reading your texts in hour number 2. I've got several, but we want to hear from you, and we want you to be part of the show because it's always more fun when you guys participate. I'm Pete Schwaba. He is Greg Bach, and Dom is in Madison. And now we are about to welcome our first guest of the evening. He joins us with some information that just might save our lives. Chad Krueger is the manager of public relations at Diggers Hotline, and he joins us now here at Nightlight over the stream. Chad, welcome.
Hey, thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
It's great to have you here. And I have to say that for those of us who, I didn't even know what Diggers Hotline was before I owned a home. And it's pretty important. I didn't even know you could dig and hit something. Like, that's how clueless I was. And I imagine there are people out there that are as uninformed as me. So tell us what Diggers Hotline is and what you guys do there.
So education to homeowners is a big part of what we try to do because there are lines in the ground. And what Diggers Hotline does is we'll take information from people who plan on digging, and we'll ask questions, get some details where you're at, what kind of work you're doing. And then we send that information to the utilities in your area, and the utilities come out and mark where buried lines are so that you can take care as you're working on your projects around your yard.
And I have to imagine that Diggers Hotline came from a necessity because folks were just, they were not doing the research. As with Pete's situation, they may not known there was research to be done. Is this something that, even with Diggers Hotline, do we still see cases where people are getting hurt because they're not doing the research?
Yeah, that does happen, unfortunately. There aren't a lot of numbers out there, but you hear stories through the years. What's in the ground is it's either dangerous or it's expensive or both. So there could be an electric line going to your house that's buried, or there could be a natural gas line. And if you put a shovel into that, maybe some natural gas escapes, and now we got a very dangerous situation. Or you can put a shovel through a fiber optic line that's bringing the internet to your home. And that would wipe out a lot of people's work days or Netflix binging or something like that. You don't want to take out your internet because that's something we rely on a lot. And that's expensive to repair as well.
Plus, you also don't want to be the guy who took out the neighborhood's internet. Like,
you would be famous for a long time, but not in a good way.
Oh my gosh,
good way.
There's no amount of cookies to any block party that will save you. Nope.
A couple of years worth of cookies, maybe organizing the block party. But yeah, that's just a mess you don't want to get into.
Yeah.
And one of the messages we try to say at Diggers Hotline, This is a free service we're offering. It's a free phone call, or our website is free. There's no charge for what we're doing. The state law also requires it. So let us know. Give us a little bit of time. It's 3 working days before your project. So if you want to do something on the weekend, call us early in the week. We'll get that info out to the utilities. They'll mark those lines, and then you don't have to bake cookies.
Well done, Chad. Yeah, and what I didn't know, in addition to what I didn't know, was that under state law, individuals have to do this. It's 811. It's one phone call. But I didn't realize that was like, you could get in trouble for not doing this. What is that like I assume it's not like a life sentence or anything, but you could really face serious trouble here.
Yeah, I think from a homeowner standpoint, I think the biggest trouble is going to be the danger from hitting that electric line with a shovel, because no one wants to do that, or taking out your internet, something dangerous or expensive. If you're a professional excavator, if this is your profession, there's some other fines that come into play if you do things the wrong way. But yeah, the state law says you have to do this. A lot of people think that I'm digging on my own property. I don't have to do that. I own this. Well, that's not what the law says. That's not what safety and common sense says. I think a lot of homeowners also think, yeah, I know Diggers Hotline. That's for the guys with the big backhoes down the street who are digging out a basement or putting in a pool, or, the big equipment. It's not for me. I'm just planting a tree. No, it is. It's for anyone who's doing any digging. The way the law defines it is disturbing the soil.
Would you, and this is actually for my own sake, because I want to do this spring and summer, but even something like, you've got tree planting and you've got major projects, but even something like what I want to do is some basic landscaping in the front and the back, there will be digging involved. Is it just make sense to play it safe and call ahead of time? Or is that like something like, some basic landscaping or basic planting? Is that something that you say you should be good, or just call regardless?
So we're never going to say, yeah, you'll be fine, don't call in. That's not our role. Our role is to explain what the law says. And the law says if you disturb the soil, you have to call a Diggers Hotline. So if you're planting, you're disturbing the soil. Yeah. A lot of people, I think, have the false understanding that, those utility lines, they should be deeper. I'm only digging down 6 inches. That gas line should be much deeper. It could be, it maybe should be, but there's no law saying how deep things should be. One of the things when I first started in this industry 20-ish years ago, a friend of mine was mowing his lawn, and the coaxial cable, the cable TV line, kind of kinked up in his yard, and the lawnmower cut his line. He shouldn't have called Diggers Hotline. That's not what I'm saying here. But I am saying that these lines are a lot shallower than most people expect.
Yeah. Wow.
Our guest is Chad Krueger. He's the manager of public relations at Diggers Hotline. The number is 811. Very easy, folks. Make the call if you plan on doing some digging, and it's for your own safety and your neighbor's convenience as well. Chad, you just mentioned when you got into this business. What does that mean exactly? Like, you're PR now, but how did you start in PR, or did you actually work for Diggers Hotline?
I worked in a communications outreach position for another nonprofit entity before coming over to Diggers Hotline. So there were some similarities, but learning the industry took a little bit. The communication side, the outreach side comes naturally. After a while, the excavation side does as well.
And April, we're just about at the end of April, but April is Safe Digging Month, and that is something that you wanted to talk to us about. Governor Evers called for it. Can you tell us more about what that means as far as like its implementation, as well as what we should be talking about in the month?
Sure. April is National Safe Digging Month. So the Senate has passed a proclamation declaring it as National Safe Digging Month. A lot of states are doing proclamations. A lot of communities are doing, proclamations coming out of their city council. In Wisconsin, the governor has signed a proclamation saying April is Safe Digging Month. And it's great to get that awareness, to get someone with that kind of stature saying how important this process is, because it truly is important. It's the fact that it's free and we're a nonprofit and we're trying to help people safely do the things that they want to do around their house. very grateful that the governor has declared Safe Digging Month for April.
It's great.
Earlier, you said you weren't sure how many people this affects in terms of safety, but I just Googled something earlier that said 400 people are killed annually in the United States by electrocution. And a significant number of those deaths were from digging and hitting power lines. How do we, like, I didn't know that when I bought a house and I found out, but I could have just as easily been one of those people. Do people get this information right when they buy a house?
No, they don't. The way we've approached it is trying to reach out to homeowners through advertising, through different online campaigns, just to plant that seed. And for a long time, it was about awareness. But as time has gone on, I think a better message is no, every time, even you, a homeowner, should make that call. Because I think before you owned a home, you probably had heard of Diggers Hotline, and you probably thought it was for someone with much bigger equipment than you have in your garage.
It was always a bigger project for me. I always thought, well, I'm not doing any major excavation. I'm not doing anything of a grand scale. No one's bringing a backhoe onto my property or anything. But the more and actually, like, the more I talk to people about over the years, the more I realize what you were saying is that it's nothing else than to better be safe than be sorry. You know, if you're doing any sort of work, just get it done.
We hear stories about people installing a fence and they didn't call and they wish they called because they took out their internet, or planting trees around the yard or shrubs or building a patio. One thing that I've had to do at my properties is work on some of the landscaping, the sloping, the drainage around the house, because with the heavy rains through the years, you got to make sure the water's going where you want it to. So that's something I personally have used Diggers Hotline for when you're working on the drainage on your property.
Have there been actual arrests made, Chad, for people who didn't call Diggers Hotline? Or should I be making a citizen's arrest? Because I'm willing to do that on behalf of Diggers Hotline.
So the evil part of me wants to say, yes, there's police out there who's Diggers Hotline police. But no, the way the law is worded, it comes out of the Public Service Commission, an agency in the state government in Madison, and they investigate and they issue fines. People really wouldn't be arrested, I don't think, unless something really bad happens, unless you purposely do something and blow up a neighborhood and injuries and death and property damage, things of that nature. But honestly, I've not heard of anyone being arrested.
Well, you just ruined Pete's night. So
I was going to say, could I get my neighbor that I don't like to try to do me a favor and dig a hole over there?
No, I'll call Diggers Hotline for you. Don't worry, wink. Chad,
we get that. My neighbor was doing this. Can you send someone out to take care of it for? Like, no, we can't. No, I don't want to get into that.
Even at Diggers Hotline, we don't like snitches. We got a call. I mean, we got a text here from Jewel in Cross Plains listening on WMDX says, can Chad speak to what is being done to actually get the utilities mark? I don't know what that means, but I'm assuming you do. You're in the industry.
I do. So we see this a lot with the professional excavators, and I think it happens a little bit with homeowners, where the utility companies are falling behind with sending people out to the properties to mark the lines at the location, which, if you do what you're supposed to do, you call Diggers Hotline, you wait 3 working days until you're legally cleared to dig. The expectation is the utilities have their representatives out there and marking the lines. The last couple of years, there have been some hiccups with that part of the process. I don't know if it's it's more difficult to hire people these days. I don't know if more tickets are coming through, more locate requests are coming in through Diggers Hotline going to the utilities. But that's been a hiccup the last couple of years. And I think you said the question is what's being done to address that. At Diggers Hotline, we're kind of in the middle. We don't have a lot of power to tell the utilities what to do. So we're trying to get everyone to the table and trying to understand everyone's perspective on this and hopefully find a compromise to try to make this get better in the future. Improvement.
The phone number for Diggers Hotline is 811. Very simple, folks. You must call it, learn it, know it, live it. Chad Krueger, thank you so much for your time tonight. It was great to get to know you, and thank you for the useful information. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much for having me on.
You got it. All right, we are coming right back. This is Nightlight with Pete Schwaba and Greg Bob.
You're listening to Civic Media. Find the latest news, information, and archives of all your favorite shows on the Civic Media website, civicmedia.us.
Welcome back. This is Nightlight with Pete Schwaba and Greg Bach. I am Pete Schwaba coming to you live from Northeast Wisconsin, just down the beautiful coast of Lake Michigan. In Radio Park and Racine is Greg Bach, and Dom Lee, as we all so often call him, is in Madison.
I like how your nickname for him is just his name.
Dom Lee.
Dom Lee. Like,
you just squeeze it together. It's hyphen it, maybe. I don't know.
Even my parents call me that too. So,
Well, honestly, I tell people all the time that my nickname is Greg Bach. Like, people are like, hey, what's up, Greg Bach? Like, they say my first and last name and like it's one word.
No
so,
space.
Yeah, I get that. I've
heard so much with my last name. It's Peach Cobbler. And then people shorten that to just Cobbler, which has nothing to do with Schwab. I love when stuff like that evolves. I've heard Q-tips, just crazy.
Yeah, that's what
Schwab.
I was thinking.
Yeah. Let's just,
don't use a Schwaba to clean your ears. It'll just
We're out of
hurt your,
Schwabas.
it will hurt your brain.
Oh, good stuff. Hey, all right. So I shared this with you earlier, Greg. How are you a fast food guy? I know you've eaten better over the. I'm trying to. I'll go 3 months without fast food, and then I'll go on like a little 2 or 3 times a week run.
Mm-hmm.
What about you, Dom? Other than the McArch,
the McArch. What are you trying to do here? Disrespect his brand?
Yeah. The Big McArch.
It's the Arch Burger. Okay.
It's the McBig Arch. The Arch.
Is it weird that they didn't put the MC in front of it? Mm-mm. Are they no longer?
Because that was the thing back in the day. Everything had a Mick.
Right.
Except, there's the Big Mac, the McMuffin, the
McRib.
McRib.
Do you think people when they go to Burger King and order nuggets and they say, "Can I get some McNuggets?" it drives Burger King crazy, or do you think they just don't care?
As a former Burger King employee.
Oh, nice.
After a while, we just sort of let it go because you can't correct everyone. And some people don't like being corrected when they just want terrible chicken nuggets at 1:15 on a Wednesday.
They're punishing themselves.
Yeah.
I used to work at McDonald's and in high school, and I remember leaving every day with that horrible, my arms just smelled like burger juice.
Yeah.
It was awful. And these like polyester brown uniforms.
Oh, God,
it was a horrible existence.
Yeah, they were just nothing but fire hazards on your uniform. Oh my goodness.
Right. And you know what's funny? I think minimum wage at the time was $3.35 an hour.
Yeah.
And I admittedly was a bad employee. Like they never let me open or close. I was just the guy there to put out the buns, or something mindless. And I still got a nickel an hour raise. I divested. And there was one of the other employees was my friend Jim, who was the valedictorian. He's probably a gazillionaire now. They gave him a 3-cent an hour raise.
What?
Like, what the hell? Why even bother at that point?
Well, because they think you think that's a thing. Like when I hear, like when I was younger, I don't know, Dom, how it is for like what your job history is like, but that thing of we're going to give you a 15-cent raise. And even when I was younger, I'm like, am I supposed to be happy about that?
Yep.
Like, am I supposed to be gracious and like say, thank you, Mr. Waffenschmidt? That was his real last name, by the way.
Oh, wow.
Mr. Waffenschmidt, I appreciate the nickel raise you gave me. I can finally feed my family.
Who needs health care?
Yeah, right?
When I was working at Jimmy John's, it was 15.
Oh, God, Jimmy John's again.
It was $15
That's
an
that
hour.
Italian
it was 15
place,
an
right?
hour to start. Yeah, it was a lot.
Yeah, because
wow.
Yeah, because you worked there, what, like 5 years ago?
Yeah.
6 years ago?
5 years ago.
Yeah, but yeah. No. We're talking like 1994. Gosh, for me, I don't know about Pete.
Yeah, mine was mid 80s, so
yeah,
there you go.
I mean, what were we talking?
Well, I just brought this up because there was this great article on Wise Brother about the top 10 fast food places. And it said a poll asked people to rank their current interest in going to various fast food joints. Men are more likely to go to Burger King, Popeyes, KFC, Domino's, and Arby's. Women are more likely to want Dairy Queen. But the top 10, the recent poll asked people to rank their current interest or their favorites. Here's the top 10. I don't
Yeah.
think there's any surprise. McDonald's, no offense, Greg, was number 1. Chick-fil-A, number 2.
Yeah.
Wendy's, Burger King, T-Bell. That surprised me because it seems like all people do now is go to Taco Bell.
Yeah.
So
Because it's fantastic.
Yep.
It is, exactly.
That'd be my number 1. Taco Bell would be my number 1.
Mine too. And you know what? I don't think people realize this, and I'm not a public service. This is not Diggers Hotline, but like they like you can get special, like the nacho cheese grosses me out at Taco Bell, but you can get shredded cheese on your nachos Bel Grande. Like you can change it up to make it a little more healthy.
Welcome to Handy Fast Food Tips with Pete.
These are life hacks for fast food.
Brought to you by Taco Bell.
Look it up. Number 6 is Subway. Sorry, Dom. Jimmy John's is not on the list.
No.
Number 7, KFC. 8, Domino's. 9, Dairy Queen. And 10, Arby's.
You know, okay, can I give a little shout out here? This is going to be really weird, but this is true. So Domino's used to be trash. Like their food used to be trash.
Yeah.
And then like 5 years ago, they did some market research. They talked to their customers and they actually listened. And I had Domino's pizza, I think like 2 years ago. And it was that thing of like, okay, I guess. And I had them like, this is actually really good. It was really like, there was a company that actually listened to the people and said, hey, let's stop being the laughing stock of our little corner of the fast food multiverse here. And I want to see this list in a couple of years. I want to see Domino's going up there higher. Knock out that Chick-fil-A because Chick-fil-A is nothing but overrated.
It is overrated. And Popeyes.
Deal with it, Dom.
I would do Popeyes so quick over Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
To me, it's not even a contest. But I will say, I agree with you. But Burger King surprises me that it's behind Wendy's.
Can I just say this too? I'm surprised Burger King is still in business.
This is from a former employee.
Well, I just say like no one ever says, "Oh, I go for some Burger King right now." Like I just don't ever hear that. Like I'm just surprised they're still around.
What do you got against flame broiled, buddy?
I have nothing against. I was a certified flame broiled technician.
I love it. All right, folks. More fun banter on the other side of the news, and we're going to read your text, and we're going to do a deep dive into this Monday night edition of Nightlight. Mike Clemens is coming up at 6:20, and we'll read some of your texts. That's all next on Nightlight with Pete Schwaba and Greg Bach. Don't go anywhere. The fun is just starting.
The national news cycle never stops, but it can be hard to find news about your local community. Civic Media is dedicated to providing quality local and state news coverage across Wisconsin. With the Civic Media app, you can get notifications about local stories that matter to you and your community. Find the free Civic Media app in your phone's app store and choose notifications from the menu to tell us what kind of news you want to hear about.